Hello again, ZRW UPS Truck Series fans. Welcome back to the UPS Truck Series Recap Show. As you know by now, our series has seen some growth in recent weeks. Last week at Lowe's, we had 6 new drivers from 4 different teams show up, and this week at Texas Motor Speedway, we have 4 more new drivers coming from 2 more teams. That being said, let me take a couple minutes to introduce the new drivers and give you a quick look at their trucks. First, we have Taylor Prince driving for Great Lakes Motorsports in the number 42 RH two-way Dodge Ram. Next, we have 3 entries from DB Carter Incorporated. The first truck from them is the number 29 Mom and Pop Chevrolet, driven by team owner David Carter II. Their second entry is the number 26 Tide Silverado, driven by the one and only Buddy Henderson. And DB Carter Incorporated's third truck is the number 31 Enterprise Rent-A-Car Chevrolet Silverado, driven by David Tanier. Alright, now that the new drivers and teams are introduced, let's get out to the track to cover the knockout qualifying session. Like I said before, this week the series heads to Texas Motor Speedway where for the first time in series history, we will have a total of 45 trucks trying their luck at qualifying for a race. As you know, the top 30 in points are locked into the race. That means 15 trucks will be qualifying against one another for the final 6 spots in the field. These are the trucks and drivers that are in the Go or Go Home group. The number 1 Lycos Ford, driven by Andy Lahl from Rob Peters Motorsports. This is the first time Andy has not been locked into the race. He fell from 29th to 31st after last week's race. The number 41 Kodak Chevy, driven by Natalie Black from Layhouse Point Racing. This is also a first for Natalie, who also fell 2 positions in the points from 30th to 32nd after last week's race at Lowe's. Next is the number 17 Skull Candy Headphone Chevy, driven by Sean Legg from Project Mayhem Motorsports. This will be only the second attempt from this team to make a race in the UPS Truck Series, but the good news is they made the race in their first attempt. Next is number 33 Degree V12 Chevy, driven by Lynn Graham for Deep South Motorsports. Currently the team is 34th place in the standings and hope to make their second start of the season. The next Go or Go Homer is a number 8 Navy Chevrolet Silverado, driven by Jethro Gibbs for JR Motorsports. Currently the number 8 team is 35th in points but has made every race so far, so I'm sure they hope to continue that streak. Next we have the number 86 of Bill Yarborough. This Caterpillar-sponsored Ford for Team Gentner will be attempting to make their second race in the UPS Truck Series. Also in the Go or Go Home group this week is the number 101 Citgo Dodge, driven by Robert Coyote for Arizona Racing. The number 101 team missed their first race last week at Lowe's, and I am sure they would like to get the truck in the show this week. Stephen Green in the number 75 Krispy Kreme AARP Chevrolet for Pineville Ridge Racing is another of our Go or Go Homers this week. Stephen has made 2 prior races this season. Our next Go or Go Home truck belongs to Deep South Motorsports driver Raymond Graham. Raymond will be trying for his first start in the number 34 Monster Chevrolet after missing the race last week. Next up is the number 71 Cadillac-sponsored truck from Project Mayhem Motorsports, driven by Rusty Snyder. Rusty and his team will be making their second attempt to make their first race. Also trying for the second time to make their first race is number 43 Fram Airhogs Ford from HSFR Dry Devo team, driven by Pete Irby. The final 4 drivers to attempt to make this race are the 4 new trucks we already talked about earlier, but if you missed them, they are the number 42 RH2way.com Dodge, driven by Taylor Prince, the 26 Tide Chevy, driven by Buddy Henderson, the number 29 Mom and Pop Chevy, driven by owner David Carter II, and a number 31 Enterprise Chevy, driven by David Tanier. Now that you know who is in the Go or Go Home group, let's get you out to the track and show you some of the action from their one and only practice session that they had. Here you're going to see Raymond Graham in the number 34 Monster Cadillac be the first one to get out onto the track in this practice session. Fastest truck in the practice session was number 29 of David Carter II. That being said, David was always running laps around other trucks. Hopefully and his team were not counting their chickens before they hatch. They need to make the race before they can race. So here's a complete rundown of all 15 drivers in the practice session. As you see, David Carter II was the fastest, Robert Coyote in second, Natalie Black running third quickest, Taylor Prince fourth quickest, Lynn Graham fifth quickest, Raymond Graham, 2 teammates there together, David Tanier, then Stephen Green, Andy Lahl 9th, Jethro Gibbs 10th, Bill Yarborough 11th quickest, Rusty Snyder, Sean Legg, Pete Irby, and Buddy Henderson rounding out the top of the 15. Alright, all the trucks have finished their qualifying attempts, and here are the 6 drivers that will make the race at Texas. They are Andy Lahl, David Tanier, Sean Legg, Bill Yarborough, Taylor Prince, and Lynn Graham. 7th through 15th will not make the race. They include Jethro Gibbs, Natalie Black, Stephen Green, Robert Coyote, David Carter II, Pete Irby, Raymond Graham, Rusty Snyder, and Buddy Henderson. Best of luck to those 7 through 15 drivers next week and making the race. Unfortunately, they will pack up and go home this week. So now the field is set for Texas Motor Speedway. All the trucks will be on the track tomorrow, 1 through 36. 36 trucks starting this race. Going to be a wild one at Texas. We'll see you tomorrow.